Welcome back to the WDL. This is the Season 3 Week 4 Rundall video. And man, we've got some good ones for you guys today. So first place, as it stands right now, is SurfTaco, our Season 1 champion with Raegen against the Machine. And he is looking to try and become a 2-time champion because his team is crazy. JesusLBL of the Strawhats along with Catrah of Sandrock, both with 7 points at this moment here. And JesusLBL, I believe, has the head-to-head victory over Catrah, which is giving him the edge into second place here. ReadyPlayerWill of the Pandas and ThunderMage of Shadow Wizard Money Gang actually play against each other this week. So whoever wins will be looking very, very pretty in the standings here as they both have 6 points. Not to mention also Coppola, absolute beast of a player with Holy Divers, also with 6 points. So it should be a really good week. Alkor of the Diminishing returns with 5 points, currently in 7th place. Daewn of Primordial Inquisition picking up their first series win last week, so netting them 3 points. Coryu87 of S.E.E.S got their first point on the board, looking to gain some more this week as well. They currently have 1. And Iceheart of Stag Party currently sitting with 0, but I know some points are coming for her as well. This is how it breaks down going into week 4, guys. 5 more best of 3s. Let's check them out. Game 1 between Alkor of the Diminishing returns and Sweetheart, or rather Iceheart of Stag Party on the right side here. It looks like Iceheart is running a composition of Dark Fina, Little Leela, and Yuna. I don't know if we've seen this. I think we saw this one other time versus ThunderMage in week 1, but haven't seen it since, as this is the double gunner squad coming out from Alkor with S.E.E.S as a tank. Steelskin Plus coming out from the Barret, as Aim Fire, I believe, coming out from Raegen, and this fight is starting to kick off. So what does Yuna go for with the already hasted up Dark Fina? It's Boon of the Lion. King Mont TMR getting AoE resist on multiple party members, as S.E.E.S obviously is going to run a Runic Blade. I will say a lot of magic threat coming out from Iceheart's comp, but Dark Fina does have Runic Dispel in her kit, and the magic slash attacks will not be protected with the Runic. Speaking of which, here's the Sorcery Strike. Runic down 6,600 damage, and Dark Fina is one of the very few mages who can actually get through S.E.E.S effectively. And what is Yuna going to go for here as absolute cover comes out from Raegen? He's got 100% shield in his kit here, so one hit, he won't take any sort of damage. Momentum, the King Bradley TMR coming out from Barret, so both sides have a hasted up party member at this point, but a silenced S.E.E.S is not a very good S.E.E.S, and what can she do here? Not a whole lot. I imagine this should be a kill. This is Sorcery Strike coming out from Dark Fina, already a 3v2 advantage for Iceheart, who has yet to pick up a win. Re-raise coming up on the Little Leela, but the tank is in the back. Can she close in on the other squad? She's actually going to run backwards and go Keen Blade. This positioning is going to be very interesting here. What does Yuna do? Does she walk forward? Yes, she does. So she's going to go Energy Ray. She's going on the offensive. I don't think this is necessarily what Iceheart wants to see here. The positioning is kind of becoming a little wonky here as Barret's going to go next. Who does he go for? And I think this is on to Yuna. Does Catastrophe one-shot is the question. Not entirely sure. Oh, that is most certainly a one-shot. That is about 10,000 damage on the double hit chain here coming out from Barret, who now with his 140 is a very strong unit. So the healer is down, but Sorcery Strike doing a ton of damage, proccing the Courage onto Barret. Armbuster coming out from Raegen, though, is massive, as that is going to land a silence on Dark Fina. Barret going to standard attack her, and she does not have re-raise here, so she is not going to come back to life. The only person with re-raise in this fight right now is Little Leela in the backline. Can she somehow pull off this 1v2? She pops her Mind Fortress buff as Focus Shot Plus comes out from Barret, and he's dealing so much damage in this fight. Can Raegen reach Little Leela with this kind of terrain, though? The answer is no. He's going to walk forward and do a whole lot of nothing. I imagine Little Leela can kill Barret. No, she actually goes for the Raegen. Maybe a height range issue on trying to take out Barret, but the 100% health shield, or excuse me, 100% damage shield doing a whole lot for Raegen, as he still can't reach the Little Leela. This is one of the worst parts about gunner units, is sometimes they just can't get around certain pieces of terrain. Raegen, finally able to walk to the side, is going to pick up the kill on Little Leela. She does come back with the re-raise, but looking at the turn order, Barret is next. He should be able to clean this up. He does, and Iceheart is going to drop. The Little Leela drops, and honestly, that fight looked very good for Iceheart early on, but the positioning got a little weird when Little Leela went backwards to Keen Blade. What is the adjustments going for game 2? Coming into game 2 here, and Stag Party does not bring the Stag to this party, as they are bringing back the exact same team they did in round 1, and the same thing coming out from Diminishing returns as well. Double Gunner with the S.E.E.S. Here comes the Steelskin plus buff from Barret, so this is the exact same turn rotation coming out from Alkor as we saw in game 1. Looking at the positioning here for Iceheart, Boon of the Lion comes out from Yuna, so that's very similar, but the positioning and timing is a little different from the last time. It looks like Dark Fina is going to try and stay back a little further than last time. I say that she is walking forward immediately, but she's kind of off to the side. Will this make a difference? Runic comes out from S.E.E.S, so a very good ability, but again, if that Sorcery Strike comes out, it's not going to do a whole lot. We'll have to see what happens. Keenblade coming out from Little Leela, and this is going much better for Iceheart than it did in game 1 in terms of getting the tank forward. But what does Yuna go for? It is a re-raise, so now we do have re-raise on the tank just like last time, but the positioning is looking better. What kind of channel is this going to be? I don't think Dark Fina can reach damage here, so Armbuster comes out. The Disable does not land this time, so that is much better for Dark Fina. I imagine this should be her re-raise as Catastrophe comes out from Barret. And what is the damage? About 5,500 onto the Little Leela, but it confuses her, which could be a catastrophe for Iceheart, but Magic Burst is going to take away the confusion. Just barely Dark Fina lives this, and will this end up being massive because she would have died right there? She should get her re-raise off here now and may be able to do some damage. No, I am sorry, it's actually Law of Preservation. That is not a re-raise. Did she already use it? I don't think she did. I think that was her first spell she used. Kiraga comes out from Yuna. Dark Fina is almost dead here. Does not catch a heal from Yuna. Sorcery Strike coming out 5,500. Removes the Runic, but she is going to be in trouble here. I don't know that Ryryu can reach anybody else. He's going to standard attack the Dark Fina, and I am apparently missing things as she does get the re-raise off. She does come back to life here. I think I missed that on turn 1. And Barret with the focus shot goes 6,600 damage onto the tank. Because of the re-raise, this is actually not looking so bad from Iceheart. I say that though. Magic Burst comes out, kills the Dark Fina, and Yuna's got a lot of work ahead of her to heal and revive her party member to have a single chance against Alkor's team here. Little Leela, a very effective SR tank. What can she do with the Darka Blade? Decent amount of damage, removes the debuffs as well. Kiraga should top her up close to full. And Ryryu, can he find damage? I can't imagine he can. Like we said before, trying to find those skills past your allied units can be very difficult sometimes. Yuna is stepping forward for a full life here, as Little Leela still has hate. If Dark Fina can come back to life, this is not over for Iceheart. Magic Burst comes out, does not kill anybody, and in fact, the Regenerator comes up on Little Leela, so she's going to get regen to heal herself back up a little bit. Full life comes out, Dark Fina is back alive, and now this is 2 units going in a row for Iceheart here. Taunting Spell is going to get rid of the 100% shield on Ryryu, and Dark Fina, what can she follow up with? She has 181 AP. Sorcery Strike into the backline Ryryu. That is a damage cap. The Gunner is now down, and all of a sudden, this looks very favorable for Iceheart comparatively to about 30 seconds earlier. Yuna should be able to find a Kiraga on her and Little Leela. Does she get it off in time, or does Barret get rid of her? 24 AP is not a ton, so he's actually going to go with the summon. What Esper are we going to see? This is Odin. Zantan Sukin coming out, guaranteed hit. How much damage does this do? Is it enough to kill either one of them? My goodness, that is actually a ton of damage. 5,600 onto both units. Leela does have the re-raise, but the heal from Yuna not going to come out. So this is all going to come down to this turn here, as Dark Fina, what does she have in store? Sorcery Strike going onto the Barret, proccing the Courage. S.E.E.S is going to go next, but she is out of AP. Just a standard attack is not going to do a whole lot as the regen comes back. That basically just did Little Leela a favor, as Barret with 24 AP now doesn't need the AP to get anything done. Standard attack will find the kill. Dark Fina needs to find a double kill here. She's got tons of AP though and should be able to find this. I imagine a Dystopia. No, it's a Law of Geo-Absorption. That will heal her up to full, even though she already was. And Iceheart is on the board with a game win, and we are going to a game 3. Heading into the final game of this series, and we've seen these two teams twice already, both teams picking up a single game win, but which one will find the edge here? The aim fire buff coming out from Ryryu, just like the first couple games. Steelskin plus coming out from Barret. So what is the adjustment coming out from Alkor here? As it looks like everything else is the same. This is a different positioning coming out from Iceheart since game 2 though. A slight change here. Boon of the Lion again from the Yuna. Little Leela, I imagine, should be running Keenblade again, and it looks like we're getting a very similar fight to the first couple. Runic Blade Plus again coming out, and both of these players really kind of refusing to change up their strategies. As Curse of the Serpent comes out from Darkfina, I think that did happen last game, and I seem to miss it, apparently, as the Rairu is going to go absolute cover, get that 100% shield online, so he is ready to go. And what's going to be different here? Because I'm looking at the positioning. I think this is slightly different from Iceheart from Game 1 and Game 2, but I think it's the exact same coming out from Alkor. And these first two fights were so damn close. Really hard to tell which way this is going to turn as Energy Ray comes out from Yuna, so she is popping the limit break right away. That will not get absorbed by the Runic, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, only 1200. S.E.E.S should be able to find an AoE magic burst, I imagine. Can she find all three? Yes, she can. And dropping that resistance, also dropping the magic stat, is going to be very, very effective. Law of Geoabsorption going to come out though, and that is not absorbed by the Runic ability. Going to hit both units and heal her to full. Focus Shot Plus comes out. Little Leela, can she find a silence onto the S.E.E.S here with her silencing spell? No, it is actually a taunting spell, so she gains extra hate just to make sure that Darkfina is not targeted. She does do the rest of her team a solid by moving out of the way. And what does Darkfina go for here? A sorcery strike. Looks like Barret has the most hate in the game right now. He's down to his courage. Yuna should be going for a Curaga here though, and the question is, does she get it off in time? S.E.E.S, can she find a kill before this happens? This is going to be crucial in this fight. I think if the Curaga goes off, I think it is Iceheart's game to win. How much damage? It hits both. 918 heal, area attack resist up. Curaga hits both. How much does it do? 6k. That is a very healthy heal. We've seen Barret pop off though. What can he go for? He goes for the point blank. That is so much damage onto the Yuna, and she drops immediately. Some Final Fantasy collaboration fights going on between each other as 6,000 from the standard attack from Rairu is just absolutely ludicrous, and I thought this was an Iceheart's favor, but now it is all of a sudden a 3v1. The preemptive magic comes out though for 4,000 damage. Very, very important here, as Darkfina might be able to find a double kill on both units. What can she go for? It's just a sorcery strike, so not able to find the AoE double kill. It is now still a 2v1, but I would not counter out. She's still got her re-raise online. Focus Shot Plus comes out. So much damage. Procs the re-raise. I think she needed to live that hit, as it looks like in the turn order, Rairu going to go next. Should be able to finish this off. The standard attack will do it, and the double gunner plus the S.E.E.S combination from Diminishing Returns proves too much to handle, and they pick up the Game 3 series victory. Game number one here, guys. We've got ThunderMage on the left side with Shadow Wizard Money Gang versus ReadyPlayerWill of the Pandas. Both teams looking for another win to try and keep themselves near the top of the table, as Enchanting Skies coming out from Summer Helena and ThunderMage sticking to his name with the double ThunderMage squad along with S.E.E.S. And it looks like ReadyPlayerWill, he is a big Full Metal Alchemist fan. He is bringing Alphonse out along with Yrel and Kadia in the back. So a double strike team versus a double lightning mage squad. Who is going to pull up the victory here? Looks like Runes of Mind and Destruction coming out from S.E.E.S. I believe this is S.E.E.S.'s TMR. This is going to nullify any sort of silence and a couple of other things, also increase some spirit. The spirit really won't matter much here though, so it looks like Grace of Eternal Friendship from Summer Helena borrowing her other version's TMR from the Black Rose, and it looks like Fulgurous Thunderblast going to come out from Renan. How much damage is this going to do to the Alphonse tank? 894, my goodness. I think he actually got his counter reaction here, but even regardless, that is insanely well tanked. The 3-hit damage coming out from Yrel, going to break any sort of barrier that would have been on Renan, and my god, Armored Flash Kick going to chain up extremely well, taking out Renan already, and ReadyPlayerWill's coming to play. Pun intended. Banish coming out for 1216 damage onto the Summer Helena. Leaping Assault from S.E.E.S though, going to give himself some regen. More importantly, going to land a slow onto Yrel. If there was any way back into this game, it would be with that. Mermaid Dance going to come out, going to drop some AoE resist on the rest of the other team. Decent chip on both Kadia and Yrel. Alphonse still tanking it quite well, I would say, with the Stone Enclosure coming out. Does the slow land, or does it just one-shot? That first hit did so much damage, and it just removes S.E.E.S from the game. Kadia, are the health thresholds low enough for another heal? I imagine they are, and yes, there is the Cura. That is going to be very hard to overcome if you were Summer Helena trying to pull this 3v1 off. Solarization is going to hit all three. Without that Cura, Kadia would have dropped. It's probably going to be little too late here. Fist of Perforation, a good chunk of damage. Alphonse out of AP, so just a standard attack Helena will live another hit here. 130 AP. Can she find a couple of kills to make this close? She will find one at least. The slow Durell, though, she's actually going to lap. She's going to go again. I mean, I think this is over, but maybe not. Solarization comes out, kills the Durell, and this is now down to a 1v1, guys. 16 AP on Alphonse. Does he have enough? No, that is a standard attack. Wait just a second here, guys. Deep Sea Impact comes out from Summer Helena, dropping the evasion. 30 AP onto Alphonse, though. Arm break is 1784. It's enough to land the kill. And honestly, that looked insanely one-sided for a while there. Summer Helena almost brought it back. Very excited to see what the changes are at game number 2. ReadyPlayerWill, who lost his opening series in the WDL, has not lost since. He's looking to try and stay undefeated here since then. So it looks like Enchanting Skies coming up from the Summer Helena, and the switch up is Queen and Valade compared to the Surges and Renan. Honestly, those other two units didn't do a whole lot last time other than the slow coming up from Surges, but this is the switch up coming up from ReadyPlayerWill, completely shifting gears with the King Mont, Flagbearer Glassy, and Sosha composition. It looks like the haste TMR coming out from the Queen here as Ice Vitalization comes out from Valade. He's going to get his hate down, which can be very, very crucial when you're not running with a tank. And the late Keenblade coming out from Sosha is going to be very nice to get this entire squad forward. Kalem's Pride with Mont, he's going to go very quickly again. Mixed with the Keenblade and Kalem's Pride, I think gives either 200 or 250 CT. He's basically just going to take another turn instantly. Does he go for another Berserk Bomb? He can't quite reach, but Stun Blade, the stun lands. That is pretty massive here, as Dragon's Might's going to go off for Sosha, give herself some guaranteed hits, some Protect, and some other things. Queen, unfortunately, can't do anything. King Mont is a little weaker to strike damage, so I'm curious to see what Queen could have done there, but doesn't get the opportunity as the Mermaid Dance comes out. This did good damage last time. Honestly, even better damage this time. Chunks King Mont to half, does a good chunk to Flagbearer Glassy as well. What does Valade have in store here, though? Bar Blizzara going to just a couple of resistances and some stats up. And here's Queen. This is the Atomic Flare, so a mixed damage Queen coming out. It looks like gonna go for the magic attack to get herself some haste. That was almost enough to kill King Mont. He finally gets his heal back, though. And this is like a very interesting fight. Triple Cross actually tanked insanely well by Summer Helena. I am astounded how well she took that. Probably a lot of AoE res. King of Leonis coming out from King Mont, though. This is the Berserk play. Does it land? Oh my god, guys. Double Berserk. And in a fight that looked pretty good for ThunderMage, double Berserk is going to be extremely hard to overcome. The standard attack does 3,000, which is really impressive. Another 3,000 coming out from Queen, but unless Valade can get rid of this Berserk, and it's not going to matter, Queen is just going to be down for the count here. Valade, do you have anything in the tank to try and swing this fight here? Curata is not going to be enough. She's going to have to get rid of that Berserk to put in more work here. Stunblade comes out, not a lot of damage. Summer Helena going to standard attack, can almost kill the tank. But yeah, unless she can land another AoE, which she's not going to get an opportunity for, this fight is probably over. Triple Cross now doing a little bit more damage here. Sosha's going to chain up with her, doing 10,000 actually off the chain. Very impressive damage coming out from the R30 cost unit. Stun Blade, the stun lands again. And unfortunately for ThunderMage, these status effects coming from ReadyPlayerWill are just way too strong. Both the stun on turn 1 and the Berserk Bomb, very well played. I say that, hold on a second, guys. We saw Summer Helena pull off almost a crazy 3v1 in game 1. She's back alive. Is she going to get an opportunity here? Oh my god, she got the counter on King Mont. Guys, it's not over. Summer Helena, what do you got here? Solarization comes out. Oh, it's not enough damage. I thought she might have a chance, but wait a minute. If Sosha can't kill, Valade has a heal? This is an Esper coming out from Sosha. If this doesn't kill, Valade might have a massive heal coming up on deck. Hold on a second, guys. We're going to have to find out how much damage this does. It's enough to kill Valade. It is enough to kill Valade. If that didn't kill, this might have been a turnaround coming out from my fellow guildie ThunderMage, but it's not enough. Very well executed by both players, but congratulations to ReadyPlayerWill and the Pandas for picking up the 2-0 series win. Game 1 of this Rundall matchup, and we've got Core U87 on the left side with a very interesting composition of Agrius, Luel, and Winter Venera. Full UR squad, very cool to see. And it looks like in the other squad, JesusLBL is running Silma, Orlando, and Lucio with full Red Mage synergy. A very strong composition. Set the pace coming out, and this is the Addison Ray TMR looking to dispel some haste on critical hit. A very cool TMR. I am very curious to see if we see this more going forward. I think it is a very strong option with how much haste is in the game, especially with King Bradley TMR. Speaking of the devil, this is the momentum buff coming up from Agrius, and that is going to allow her to lap actually immediately. Here comes Candescent Hue. Is she able to land a confusion or something on the other team? If she is, that's huge. If she lands it on Lucio, he's going to go next. Does he choose? Oh god, he chooses... No way. Oh my god, 5,200 damage coming out from his standard attack is enough to kill his own teammate Silma. And wait a second, guys, this is looking very good for Koryu87 and S.E.E.S right out of the gate. But this is the limit break coming out from Orlando, some Final Fantasy Tactics fights going on, and he's going to get his own haste as well. But this is basically a 2v1 in the corner. I say that. Lucio is still confused. This is a 2v1 almost in Koryu's favor if they can't get that confusion gone. Sentinel coming up from Agrius, so she's not going to stop it. Orlando, can he get rid of this Agrius? Helibolt Extreme's going to come out. 2757 is not a lot. Lucio, does he go for Orlando here? No, he goes for Agrius. Okay, and he drops the haste. Removes the haste, so very, very nice with that Addison Ray TMR. Dropping it on the crit. Iron Body Stance comes out from Winter Venera. She's going to finally walk forward. What does Luel have in store here as Orlando's finally going to claim a kill, but can anybody get this confusion off of Lucio? Law of Preservation comes out from Luel, and the answer is no, which means he's going to slap Orlando and remove his haste because of the Addison Ray TMR gets rid of his own partner's haste. Oh my god, this series is absolutely nuts already out of the gate, and double Earth composition going to look really good into Orlando. Lucio is going to have to carry this. He fortunately is no longer confused, but Law of Geoabsorption comes out and it's so much damage. Instantly nukes Orlando. Lucio is a very good unit though. Scintillating Eclipse is enough to take out Luel. She does have the re-raise though. Man, oh man, they're going to chain up together. Do they have enough damage to take him out? I imagine they do between both of them, right? This is the limit break coming out from Winter Venera Snowball fight. Very cool limit break animation. We almost never get to see this. 7,500 damage is a lot. And Koryu87, who managed to pick up their first point last week, gets on the board right away in game number 1. All right, guys, game number 1 was a banger with Agrius confusing Lucio and making him literally get rid of the haste on his own teammate. Revitalize coming out from Tifa as this is the double Wind Punch squad with Rabbies. It's the old reliable team coming out from JesusLBL with Blessing of the Truth coming out from Edward Elric. And this is the Amnivelis squad, if you want to call it. Amnilis along with Velis. And this is a very dangerous party along with Severo on the other side. Zombie TMR. Amnilis can effectively function like a Mortal Skull. She basically has the same courage buff along with re-raise and Velis healing from the back, and she's going to be hasted. This is a very potent squad, but if anybody can take it down, it is this double Wind Strike team. And Ravis is a very, very good tank. As please ignore the text message coming in on the match here. Severo going to walk forward. I think he's actually in range to do damage. Ice Blessing coming out from Velis, Protect and Shell. Water Ghost going to hit the entire party, and that actually does so much damage. Severo is a monster for a 30 cost unit. It also drops the Bravery on the entire party, and that is very notable. That is close to a 30% damage decrease from the other team. It drops Bravery by 40, which is very drastic. Somersault combo coming up from Tifa is probably a one-shot. Actually, 5145 is not a one-shot. It does stun Severo. But this is looking very good for Koryu here, unless Edward can just absolutely go nuts. Snow Healing reaches Severo, so he's up to full health. Full Metal Rage. I mean, it's going to take 2 hits to kill Amnilis regardless to at least, like, proc the re-raise. That's hit number 1, but here comes Amnilis. Can she find a Ternary Seal onto all 3 units? If she can, this fight very well may be over. When does the cast time goes off? It goes off instantly. That is essentially a double kill. Procs the Courage onto Tifa. She's going to go Overpower Plus, so she finds the AoE. Procs the re-raise, but Velis is coming in hot with a heal, and this is going to be so hard to overcome if you are JesusLBL. The only thing is, where's the accuracy? Is there guaranteed hits on the other side? It looks like Amnilis had no problem hitting Tifa the first time. Does she connect this time as well? I imagine another Ternary Seal coming out. There it is, hitting both units. Tifa's going to drop, and it looks like Koryu87 and S.E.E.S is finally going to pick up their first series win of the series. Huge performance by them in an upset against JesusLBL, who looks to be an extremely strong team this season. There it is, Revocation, proccing the Courage. Ravi's is going to be able to hang on for one more turn here with the Blinding Cross, but it's not going to be enough. Several might not have even the accuracy to connect here, but Velis is going to channel a heal. Gonna go Knight's Blessing, full heal everybody so they're all at full health. The sleep connects because he didn't have the accuracy, but Amnos should be able to take care of this with another revocation, and there it is, guys. S.E.E.S with a 2-0 series victory. Not what I expected to see, but an absolutely awesome series from them. Congratulations. Alright guys, game 1 of this series got Daewn on the left with Primordial Inquisition versus SurfTaco and Raegen against the Machine. And it looks like Sephiroth, Miranda, and Uni coming out for Raegen against the Machine as the King Bradley TMR pops off onto Sephiroth. And Dawn of Ashes on the left here, popping the Poise buff on King Bradley, getting himself some extra physical damage and the Courage. Immortal Spirit, speaking of Courage, goes off on Miranda, so she is ready to have to die twice in order to get rid of her. Naya, what does she go for here? Is it a regen? Is it a reflect? What do we see? It's actually a zombie TMR, so this is zombie Ryryu's TMR giving Naya re-raise. It won't matter if Sephiroth uses the limit break, but a very good tech coming out from Uni, trying to hit all 3 units. How much damage did this do? It actually dispels any sort of haste or quicken coming out, and Naya is below half health. So this is a very good start for SurfTaco. The Vega TMR coming out from Nasha, though, she's ready to berserk some people. And speaking of berserking, here comes Sephiroth with the Octaslash limit break, I think on the entire party. This is going to remove that re-raise on the Naya. No, it is not. It actually did not connect with Naya, but it does remove Bradley's Courage, which is pretty massive. He's sitting here with 84 AP, ready to do a ton of damage, but his health bar is quite low. Calculated Rend is enough to take out the Uni and do a very sizable chunk onto Sephiroth, but can Miranda find a kill before it even matters? She's got casting time. Naya's got casting time too. She should be able to go for a Kiriga, but who gets their cast off first? That is going to be a massive question for this fight. I think whoever gets off first, honestly, probably has a huge advantage in this battle, and Naya's going to take her sweet time thinking about what she wants to do after this fight. And here comes Sephiroth with the Hell's Gate, taking out King Bradley. So this Kiriga is going to completely miss King Bradley, and this is looking very good for SurfTaco as Water Good Dispeller is not enough to take out Nasha. The heal will hit both of the ladies here, but 48 AP on Nasha, I don't know if that's enough for her to get a whole lot done. Naya's going to have to put her work with a full life, and it's going to be Reflex by Sephiroth, dodging out on the Saintly Cross. He doesn't have a whole lot of AP, but he's got enough for an Aeolian Onslaught, taking up only 9 AP. That's pretty insane. Dispelling Thrust is enough to remove Nasha, though, and here comes the 2v1. Naya, we've seen her pull off some crazy things before. If she could resurrect King Bradley, I like her chances, but Nasha being the tank, and I think she was a slot 1 unit, means this full life should go on to her. The King Bradley TMR from Sephiroth, though, he does not have enough AP to remove her right now, so this fight is not over yet. Nasha's going to come back in full health. This is now a 2v2, and what's going to happen? Aeolian Onslaught again, dropping that agility. Miranda should be able to pick up this kill here, though, and I think we're going to see a repeat of what we just saw about a turn ago. Naya should be able to go for another full life. She has 2 full lives in her kit compared to most white mages. That is a big difference. Sephiroth with no AP, I don't imagine has enough to one-shot her. He does not, so this is another full life again, but unfortunately she only has 2 casts, and unfortunately she misses. That is actually shocking. Naya has an increased full life chance. She magic reflexes the Miranda. She's going to be able to try and heal herself here, but she's not going to have the damage to get it done. She has no way to bring back her allies here. This should be a win for SurfTaco and Raegen against the Machine. There it is. She cuts her in half. He cuts her in half, just like he did Aerith. Spoiler alert, I apologize, but that is a Game 1 win for SurfTaco and Raegen against the Machine. Jumping into the second game of this series, and it looks like the same squad coming out from Primordial Inquisition on the left here, but SurfTaco does go for the switch up. No Sephiroth this time, bringing along Astrius and Murmur instead of the Sephiroth and Uni combination. Looks like the same turn 1 coming out from King Bradley, so he has Courage. I don't think there is Courage removal on the other side. Actually, I take that back. I think Miranda might have Courage removal, but a Mortal Spirit comes up, so she's going to get her own Courage online. Astrius did go for the Deep Fortification buff, and Naya, what did she go for this time? She went for Zombie Transformation last time. It is the same thing as Game 1, so a very similar turn rotation as the first game of this series. Keen Blade coming out from the Nasha, though, going to get CT up on the entire party, and some Slash Tech as well. Not really going to do anything for Naya, but it will help Nasha in this instant. who is rocking a very cool weapon skin with the Starlight Elena weapon. Reflect, though, could be pretty huge. As the fast cast goes onto Miranda, the Reflect could be big if she goes for a Dispelling Thrust onto her, as King Bradley's going to pop his own TMR, going to get some reaction block rate and haste as well. He is a very, very speedy boy here, as the Courage buff goes onto S.E.E.S on the other side. So here we go. Here should be some damage coming in. Nope, I take that back. Divine Veil immediately coming in from Nasha. But Miranda should be able to reach here. She has Reflect. Dispelling Thrust is going to hit. This is going to hit herself, and this is actually going to remove her own haste, proc her own self-heal. That's actually a pretty massive move here coming in from Daewn. Naya looks like is out of buff. She's just going to walk forward into the fight, hopefully not in AoE range from Primordial Inquisition. Calculated Ren tanked up quite well by the S.E.E.S, less than 4k here. And Murmur, I expect to be going for a flare onto Nasha. Cross Destruction about 3,700, going to heal himself up and also giving some slash tech piercing. Dispelling Thrust is enough to dispel her entire HP bar though. And here comes another channel from Murmur. I think that is the flare actually. It should whiff, as Nasha is now dead, but this is a stacked up team for King Bradley. Calculated Ren comes in, a ton of damage onto all three, procs the Courage onto Miranda. Naya should be able to go for a full life here, and this could look very, very good for Daewn in a turn here once his full life goes off. It is not a flare, it is a stone gun, but it whiffs nonetheless. Here's the full life onto Nasha. It does not miss like game one. This is now back to a 3v3, but it looks like Nasha's out of hate, as S.E.E.S is going to go limit break onto Bradley. Is this enough to kill? 10,000 is enough to proc the Courage. Crystal Tracer comes through, and that is going to seal the kill for him. And now this is looking very, very good for SurfTaco and Raegen against the machine. Dispelling Thrust does 10,000 to Nasha. My goodness. This looked very good for Daewn, and I will save SurfTaco bring this back really, really hard. But Naya should be going for a heal instead of her second full life, which I think is unfortunate for Primordial Inquisition. I think the only way to bring this back is to bring the King back. And we're taking a little bit of loading time here as Kiriga comes through. 8,000 heals, very nice. Going to give some CT up as well. And Asha's actually going to skip turn order. She's going to go next. Can she claim a kill? She's going to take 3,800 from the S.E.E.S before she even gets to go. She does remove Miranda, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It's going to be a little too late here. As Edge of No Return comes out from S.E.E.S, the Crystal Tracer will finish it off. Naya should be going for a second full life onto Nasha, but just like game one, I think unless you can bring King Bradley back, you're just not going to have the damage to deal with S.E.E.S. I take it back. Is this full life going onto Bradley? Wait just a second. If this does, yes, it does. Oh my god, this might not be over, guys. Daewn might be able to actually still pull this off. Edge of No Return, 5,900. Crystal Tracer is enough to kill him. I take it back. It officially is over now, as there are no full life casts left. Flare is going to hit the Naya. It should be doing quite a bit of damage. It's more than half. Naya's going to try and just heal herself, but I imagine S.E.E.S, especially with the elemental advantage, is going to have enough in the tank to take her out. And SurfTaco looking to keep his undefeated streak alive through Season 4 here. Edge of No Return is enough. It removes the re-raise, which I forgot she even had. But GG's to both players. Very well played by SurfTaco, and congratulations on the series win. Jumping into the first game of what should be a very good series, we've got Catrah on the left of Sandrock versus Coppola of Holy Divers. And it looks like Coppola running a team that he tried to run last week against ReadyPlayerWill. The Vacuum Veil coming out from June, along with Howlet and Slime. Would love to see Howlet put in some work this time, as he's going to channel some sort of spell. Padfoot coming out from Roy Mustang, so this is the Pissarro TMR. It looks like a double fire magic squad with the Chi barrier from Revelka, so double fire magic glove team along with Fryevia as a tank. Should be very, very interesting. A track barrier coming up from Fryevia, so she's going to have a magic shield as well as a bunch of hate, and should do well against this Howlet. I imagine Howlet is going to do almost no damage to her, if I had to guess. Shell coming out from Howlet, though, so very interesting with the White Mage sub. Stormwind Run coming out from June, doing a nice little chunk, about 2,000 to both units here. As Roy Mustang, what does he go for? He actually finds Slime in the back with the all-consuming flame. That Courage keeping him alive, though, crucially. Howlet, what does he have in store for us? He's going to find Roy on the side. Osmotic Evocation does about 6k, and it looks like, hey, if I can't hit Fryevia, it's no big deal. I'll just take out Roy on the side. Deflagration Blast coming out from Revelka, doing a nice chunk onto Joom, and Fryevia should be able to follow this up with a Spellveil Blade, about 1,000 damage, getting herself some nice defensive boosts, though. Slime should be able to top himself up along with Joom, so Slime, kind of this immortal support tank, in the back, he can be very, very pesky. Incinerator, though, doing an absolutely ludicrous amount of damage to Joom, removing the protected shell as well. Triple Trick is a nice little slash chain if Howlett can somehow follow this up. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, though. He might just go for Roy again. What is the range that he has? He actually can follow it up, not with the slash, only with Osmotic Evocation, but that did like 400 damage even with the wind chain. That is absolutely ridiculous, and Roy Mustang is kind of popping off here as he removes the tank, doing a very nice chunk to Howlett. Revelka might be able to follow this up with a kill. She's going to go Deflagration Blast. That is basically enough for a double kill. Slime is just barely alive with his courage again. Should be able to heal himself back up. No, he's going to go for a cast. He opts for this most times. This is actually Zing to bring back his ally. Knight's Blessing comes out from Fryevi, going to heal up the party. Zing lands onto Joom. She's alive, but unless they can get a heal off on the team, this is probably over again. Vacuum Veil going to come back up, but Roy says, hey, I'll take care of this. Incinerator, 7,200 damage, and he is looking like a very strong counter to this Joom. Revelka should be able to find the kill onto Slime here. She goes with Deflagration Blast, and that is it. And that is a very strong and convincing win by Catrah in game number 1. Catrah of Sandrock with what seems to be a massive level up from Season 1 to Season 2. He's looking very, very strong here with a early 1-0 lead over Coppola and the Holy Divers. And this is a switch up from both teams, actually. Coppola running a double Lightning Squad with Mariel as the tank. Here comes the Pinion of Steel buff from Stern Wing of Destiny as a rainbow composition of Stern, Fryevi, and Balo. So very bulky frontline along with Stern, but here comes the inevitable one. It is Skahal, and here comes Mariel as well with the King Bradley TMR. Haste and reaction block rate. She's going to walk forward. Fryevi, what does she have for us? It's a track barrier. Obviously, this is what she goes for almost every time. Getting that hate up and that magic barrier, and as long as Skahal doesn't use Flare, this should actually tank him up fairly decently. Stern with a ton of AP, going to pop the Reawakening buff, get some re-raise for himself, and he's sitting with almost 120 AP, which is just ludicrous for a physical damage dealer. Shadow Flare comes out from Fryevi, going to drop the AoE resist. 2190 should be able to, I think, just barely be enough to drop Skahal below his 70% threshold. Actually, not 100% sure. Dispel Threat Spread comes out, though. It is dodged by the Stern, which will that end up being a big deal? We'll have to find out here. Mariel, she's going to walk straight forward, go Mind Crusher on all three, and good lord, between the damage of the two attacks here, Balo is actually down for the count already. Skahal is going to go for what I imagine is a Thundaga. No, it is a Flare, which will get rid of that barrier on the Fryevi, and my goodness, that Skahal is eating his Wheaties, removes the magic tank. 100 Edges comes out, removes the re-raise on Skahal though, and it was below that 70% threshold, which means he does die to that attack, and it is not over yet, you guys. Stern Wing of Destiny could easily pull off this 2v1. We've seen more crazy things come out. 34 AP on the Nivelu. She's going to go for the slow arrow, does 6,000 though, and this Nivelu looking pretty impressive, I will say. Mariel is up next with 65 AP. She's going to find a Banished Blade, which should be able to get rid of the first life on the Stern. And I will say, I honestly thought he might be able to pull off this 2v1, but there's a lot of damage coming out from Coppola's team. If he goes for this Limit Break, though, he's going to get Haste, and he has Reflex in his kit, which means it is never over till it's over. We've seen this Stern from Catrah pull off some crazy things before. Can he do it again? Here comes Nivelu. Will there be a reflex? No, there will not. That is a standard attack. That is a kill. And Coppola, in convincing fashion, brings it to a game 3. Two teams who are trying to fight for that top position or close to it in the Rundall division here. Catrah and Coppola, we're going to a game 3. It's been very, very awesome to see so far. Nivelu going to channel a spell here. I imagine either a Haste or a Quicken. She does have that Time Mage sub job, as it looks like Starlight Elena and Mariel coming out for Coppola, and it looks like a double light composition coming out from Catrah. The Stern Wing of Destiny, Violet, and Balo comp that is just so damn dangerous with all of their CT stuff going on. The King Bradley TMR comes out from Mariel, just like the last game, and Stern going to pop Reawakening. He is ready to go with about almost 12,000 health here, and this is a Quicken. I wondered if it would be Haste or Quicken. It's to get that tank forward as fast as possible. And speaking of tank, my goodness, 15,000 health is very healthy, but Mind Crusher misses. The evasion is there for Catrah right out of the gate. And Keen Blade comes out from Balo, and this is some of that CT stuff I talked about. Here comes Stern. What kind of damage can he do? He's instantly going to pop the Limit Break. This could be pretty massive for Sandrock, because the Infinite Light is going to give him haste right out of the gate. 5,500 damage is a very nice start, and this Stern is going to be very, very speedy. Barrier Obliterator coming up from Nivlu, though. Only 2,400 damage, tanked up better than last time, I will say. And here comes Elena. My goodness, says, hey, you're the light evasion unit? No, I'm the OG. And here comes Mariel in a 3v2 fashion for Coppola. This is actually looking very, very good for him now that Violet is off the table. Mind Crusher coming out from Mariel is not enough to get rid of the Balo. Here comes Stern, though. Can he find a kill? 100 edges is enough to get rid of the Nivlu, so now it is back to a 2v2. He is very low on AP, though. That is the one thing. Taunting Blade, is it enough? No, it is not, but it does give Balo some hate, which could be a big deal. Evildoers beware from the Elena, so she's going to get her evasion up. What is the accuracy like on Catrah's team? I imagine it is pretty strong. Mariel should be able to find an AoE here, though. Getting some chip onto the Stern. Yes, she can. Actually kills the Balo and is now down to a 1v2, and this should be very close. Can Stern pick up a kill without using AP? Yes, he can. That could be absolutely massive here. Who's going to win this fight, though? Catrah's Stern still has re-raise. Crystal Shine Bright is enough to take the full life. It also gives herself some agility. And man, oh man, this is going to come down to reflex, I think, because Stern probably is enough to get the courage from Elena with the 100 ages. Yes, it is. She's going to be alive down to 1 health. Does he reflex? It literally just comes down to this. Lux Overflow comes through, and that is the kill. That is the win for Coppola and the Holy Divers. Man, oh man, that game 3 could not have been closer. Very, very well played by both players. An absolutely excellent series. The 4th week is wrapped up for the Rundall division here. We've got 5 more weeks to go, but these standings are very interesting. So SurfTaco with Raegen against the Machine has only dropped a single game all season, hasn't lost a series yet. 12 points, looking very, very impressive. In second place, ReadyPlayerWill started off the season with a 0-2 loss to SurfTaco, but literally hasn't lost a single game since. His team has been looking very, very strong with the Pandas with 9 points. And Coppola of Holy Divers also with 9 points. ReadyPlayerWill does have the head-to-head over Coppola, however, which means he is in second place at the moment. Catrah of Sandrock and Alkor of Diminishing returns, both with 8 points. Another situation where Catrah has the head-to-head tiebreaker over Alkor, so they are currently in 4th and 5th. JesusLBL with the Strawhats with 7 points. Honestly, kind of an upset by CoreU87 and S.E.E.S, but an amazing series that was super entertaining to watch. But he is only 1 point outside of the playoffs right now, and he's looking to gain some more as the season goes on. ThunderMage of Shadow Wizard Money Gang, one of my fellow Thunder Gods, with 6 points, looking very impressive as well. CoreU87 of S.E.E.S picks up their first series win. Congratulations to them. Daewn of Primordial Inquisition still with 3 points in 9th place, and Iceheart of Stag Party doesn't manage to pick up the series win, but does manage to get on the board, which is awesome to see. So this division is looking very, very interesting through 4 weeks. I can't wait to see where it goes over the next 5. If you guys enjoyed these battles, would surely appreciate a like and subscribe down below. Leave me a comment down below on who you think is going to win this division, or what your favorite ice cream flavor is. I don't care. Either one is perfectly fine, but I hope you guys have a great day. No, have a wonderful day. That's what I normally say. Peace.